If we close our eyes and recall the locations of Metroidvania video games, we are likely to recall Dracula's castle from the multiple Castlevanias, or the dismal passages of the Hallownest lands from Hollow Knight. Oregon Shanghai has chosen to approach things differently, sketching Afterimage by hand and focusing obsessively on the animations and style of the backdrops, which range from fall forests to grassy fields studded with beautiful flowers. In brief, the continent of Engadin appears to be quite beautiful based on what we saw in the demo, which lasts around an hour and is available as part of Steam Next Fest. The good news is that the launch of Afterimage, set for April 26th, is not far away, and our initial impressions have been more than pleasant, excluding some edginess in the design and the way the tale is presented to the players. The demo begins with a sequence of images and lines that describe the premises of the Afterimage plot, introducing the themes and universe of Engadin, a place distinguished by the disruption of the correct flow of souls, which now roam lost. It appears that the protagonist, Renee, can assist the spirits in returning to their proper path, but we soon realize that she holds the gift of the gods, which is the capacity to return after death, retrieving the lost experience at the point of death, just as in the most classic of Souls. The introduction left us cold. The material is numerous and offered all at once, so it does not stay long in the player's head, who may profit more significantly from it by learning it gradually. According to what we know, a previous cataclysm nearly wiped out the human species. It will be up to Renee to figure out what happened and try to breathe new life into a world that, we must say, doesn't seem to be doing too badly once lightened by anthropization. The real protagonist of Afterimage, in fact, is her magnificent setting. Afterimage's backdrops, characters, and animations are hand-created by the developers, and it is a work that can leave an impression. In the name of a prosperous and lush nature, Oregon Shanghai abandons the gloomy hues and unpleasant atmospheres of classic Metroidvanias to create an adventure full of brightness and delight. Only the marked stylistic inconsistency between Renee's design and that of Ifree, the spirit that accompanies her, while the first has an anime style, the female characters of another Chinese production, Genshin Impact, can be a good starting point for a comparison. The second has chibi roundness and a less successful characterization, clashing not insignificantly with Renee's meticulous details. Exploration piques the player's interest. As is customary, minor visual cues indicate the presence of hidden alcoves or whole new sectors of the levels, designed to entice Renee to return at a later time. Once you obtain new skills. We particularly like the scene in which the protagonist emerges from the forest after the first boss fight against a gigantic wolf to find herself on a gorgeous grassy expanse full with flowers and foes inspired by the plant world. Her delight in the natural world contrasts with the dramatic premise of Afterimage's plot, and we're eager to see how it all comes together in the final edition of the game. If the exploration is exciting, so is the combat system. We begin the adventure with a sword, but we know that there will be several kinds of weapons, as well as armor, accessories, and secondary armaments to supplement the protagonist's equipment. Killing opponents will level up Renee, boosting her stats. Also, by defeating monsters and discovering hidden treasure chests, you will be able to collect talents to spend on unlocking upgrades and special powers for each class of weapon. The design of the foes is unique and varied, often deviating from the genre's classic stylistic features. There are odd lizards wrapped in grapes, frogs equipped with an axe, and a type of pangolin covered in leaves, all of which contribute to the game's overall vivacity. The battles against the demo's bosses were varied, but we noted a significant increase in difficulty starting with the second one. Fortunately, the checkpoints are never far away. In other words, we did not find the experience frustrating in this first period of learning the mechanics, thanks to the instructions' importance. The third and final encounter, in which Renee faced off against a humanoid opponent armed with a sword and magical abilities, proved to be dynamic and with overall modest attack windows, necessitating a hit-and-run strategy. The usage of the shot, gained recently by the protagonist, in the sign of combat is crucial in this scenario. We conclude the analysis by emphasizing the presence of a good Italian translation and an orchestral soundtrack with delicate and dreamy tones, both of which are ideal for animating this lush and dynamic virtual environment.